everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope that you had a very blessed Mabon, a very blessed fall equinox. I hope that you also enjoyed the video that I put out for you guys. I hope that each of the groups held some kind of message for you, and I'm really excited to see what the runes have to say for this week ahead. And of course, before we get into it, a little bit about the astrological weather that we're going to be working with this week. I'm really excited because we actually have Venus moving into Libra early Tuesday morning. So at 4:04 a.m. for those of you who are up, there's going to be a wonderful shift where Venus is going to join the Sun within the sign of Libra. And the beautiful thing about that is that Libra is ruled by Venus. So she's going to be in her place of happiness, her place of joy. She is going to be in her home sign, essentially, where she'll be exalted in this beautiful energy of her domicile, which I'm really excited about, because we're going to see a lot of emphasis and focus, again, even more so than we have already been seeing last week, but a deeper sense and focus on harmony, balance, understanding our boundaries, learning how to not only open ourselves up to the world around us, but to open our inner world to the people that we love in ways that we may not have done so before. It may be challenging, it may be difficult, it may feel a little scary, but it really feels like it's time to allow yourself to open up, to see and be seen, right? Because there's so much a part of this world, and I really connected to this message from a Sufi mystic literature that I read a long time ago, where it said that the source, or this universal energy that we all exist within, that has all manifested across the multiverses, that this universal principle seeks to understand itself. It yearns for itself. It already knows who it is, it knows what it is, but to have such a desire and a yearning for what it already has, to see itself, to look within its own eyes, and to fall in love with itself. That's kind of the energy that we're working with Libra moving, with Venus moving into Libra. So be prepared. I feel like we're all going to have a lot of tears this week, but they're going to be happy tears. They're going to be release of emotion. We're going to be seeing a greater resurgence of happy memories, perhaps with relationships from the past, or creating more happy memories with new relationships. It feels really beautiful, but also the kind of beauty that comes from the heart-wrenching nature of a beautiful sunrise, right? It's like, why is this so beautiful? Like, that's what it feels to me. And I just saw on the timer 3:33. For those of you who are into angel numbers, perhaps it is a sign for you to tap more into joyful connections and joyful partnerships. So a lot of emphasis on happy connections this week. I'm really excited. Of course, let's see what the runes have to say. Okay. Let's see. It's a journey, y'all. It's a journey. For some of us, we're going to have quite a great adventure beginning. And that's not always an adventure that's physical in nature. Perhaps the adventure is emotional or spiritual, or perhaps the adventure is financial, right? It could also be big steps in your career, or big steps in your creative endeavors, right? But whatever it is, it feels like a journey. It feels like a great journey is beginning. And I know it's scary. I know it's like, oh my goodness, what is actually happening? But I'm really feeling encouraged to share with you all. And again, this is a general reading, so take what resonates, right? But to share with you guys that, you know, there's so much that this world has to offer us. There's so much that we have to offer the world. And a lot of our experiences are a reflection of the conversation that we have with the world around us. Speak softly to the world, and the world will speak back softly. Speak gently to the places around you, and the places around you will speak gently. Speak with love, and watch how the clouds will speak in love in return, right? It's really about this communication, this conversation, this gentleness that I'm feeling for a lot of us now. Okay, so starting in the middle and radiating outwards, we're here, y'all. So we have Dagas, which came out right in the middle, right in the center. So of course, this is the center of this reading. What I would interpret that as is starting today, which is like Tuesday, Wednesday energy, right? There is something that is revealed, or something that has come to light, right? Because Dagas is the day. It is the sunrise. It is the aspects of enlightenment that we can't quite ignore, right? It's like sunrise. So you can't ignore the sunrise. The sun rises and everyone knows that the sun is up, right? Except maybe the ants in the floor. But you know what I'm saying. I think there's a great emphasis on something revealed, on something coming to light. So perhaps you are in the midst, or had already experienced, or may experience soon, a conversation with a loved one, a conversation with someone that you care about, a conversation with your business partner or whatever, that really brings something to light. And this something feels really good. It feels pleasant. It feels like, it feels very blessed. And I like this because what we're surrounded by, I'm also looking at, like I'm looking at the surrounding runes, and it feels as if we're being surrounded by friends and family. So for those of you who may be feeling lonely at this time, please reach out to your support system. Please reach out to the people who are near you, because they are very willing to be present with you. They are very willing to support you in the ways that you need and may not expect. We also have Manas here that fell on its side, and so I see that as into Thursday/Friday, we may feel a little bit overwhelmed by this message, or may feel a little bit overwhelmed by the shift of Venus into Libra, right? It feels very emotional. Like I had mentioned earlier in the reading, it is the same kind of heartbreaking beauty that you experience when you see a sunrise after a stormy day, right? There's a heartbreaking beauty to it. And this may be difficult for some of us. So on Thursday, Friday, allow yourself to work through the emotions as they come, because Manas on its side, for me, Manas represents our connection to our higher self, our connection to our ability to do things in this world, to our free will, our agency. And so to see it on its side means to relax your grip a bit. Allow yourself to feel rather than act, to experience rather than analyze, right? Allow yourself to be in that space where you can feel your heart, feel its emotions, and allow for this blessing to come, because I'm feeling called to read the rest of the runes, because they kind of fell in a quadrant. They fell in a diamond shape, and they are equidistant in terms of distance from the center. So that would be the equivalent of saying they're on the same ring of time, right? So the ring of time that I'm looking at now is into the weekend and into the beginning of next week, right? So we have Fehu here, which is the rune of abundance, the rune of cattle, literally cattle. We have Algis, which is the rune of protection, the rune of connection to one's higher self, the spiritual energy, because I always see Algis, especially upright, as someone holding their hands up to the sky, right? As if in prayer or in supplication. Then we have Othala, which is the rune of spiritual inheritance, or the rune of homecoming. And then we have Gebel, which is the rune of equivalent exchange, or the rune of the gift, right? So what I see here is that over the weekend into the beginning of next week, some of us may be returning home from a trip, or some of us may be encountering parts of ourselves that we have not encountered in a while. We may be returning home to something that is important to us, returning home to something that perspective. Sometimes I can't speak English. A lot of prospective hope, like prospects, right? Prospective hope, or prospective abundance. There is something to be said about this spiritual inheritance, because I feel like over the weekend into the beginning of next week, whatever this good thing that's coming this week, or this message, or this revelation that you may have, I'm hearing for some of us, it may be a revelation about our own beauty, or it may be a revelation about the experiences that we had that we may not have accrued the knowledge that we needed to from them, but this week we will, right? Or I'm getting a very specific message. For some of you, right, you may receive an accolade this week, or you may receive, like, for example, like I'm seeing like I'm seeing an application being accepted, or like something that you didn't expect to go through, like in a competition or something, and it went through and it won. Like, that's the kind of feeling I'm getting, right? So whatever this revelation is, and the blessing that's coming with it over the weekend, right? This is your inheritance. Our happiness, our joy is our inheritance, right? Our peacefulness is our inheritance. And so I encourage you over the weekend to tap into the energy of Venus in Libra, to tap into this Libra energy of emotional balance, seeking emotional harmony, allowing yourself to feel your emotions before you act upon them. Allow yourself to relax your grip on the handle of life. Relax your grip on the handle of life, and know that things are going to be working out in your favor. I'm also seeing for some of us, we may be receiving a gift over the weekend too, whatever that gift may be, or an equivalent exchange. I'm seeing some people hanging out with friends, or reconnecting with old friends. For some of us, again, like I said, this is a general message, so you guys know the drill. And I also see that for some of us, we may have a spiritual experience this week, towards the weekend into the beginning of next week, that may change our perspective on something, or change our perspective about ourselves. And what I mean by a spiritual experience that changes your perspective, it feels to me as if, for example, someone mentions something that you're like, oh, I didn't think of it like that. Or, you know, you're talking to a friend and your friend says, hey, I wanted you to read this book. Can you take a look at it? And then you get the book, and the book is like, I don't know, like the book that you used to see on your grandmother's library when you were young, right? It feels like that, like this small message that the world is with you, right? Yes, the world is with you. Yeah, okay, so that, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there for us, because it feels like there's a very pleasant surprise. For those of us too, I feel, for those of you who enjoy working with plants, I currently have a tea here that I shall take a quick sip of. That's made of cinnamon and damiana, so there's a great emphasis on warmth and connection to your body. So please take your time to do a body scan, meditate, and do what feels right in that regard. So I'm excited to see you guys next week on the channel. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. I really enjoy sharing this practice with you all, and I'll see you here next week on the channel. Bye everyone.